Hi, and welcome back to the lab. If you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below to ensure that you get all the updates from the lab. Today we're doing a review of the SJ4000s that we use a lot. Now you saw me do a teardown of a very crappy ripoff of this camera a few videos ago. I've reordered, and now I have the authentic SJ Cams. This is the package. If you remember from the teardown, I told you that the package it came in didn't even seem right. This is the package that you would normally get. It does have the authentication sticker on it. I did do it online, and these are authentic SJ cameras. And the video quality is much better than what the cheap 4K ones were. Now these ones aren't 4K. These ones are 1080p. I personally didn't need 4K, so I went with the ones that I knew were good. I know that the 4K in the SJ series is awesome too, but it's about $100 more than these ones. And since I'm not going to benefit from the 4K, I didn't go for it. So let's dive into the computer here. Let's take a look at the website. Now, I've always ordered them from Banggood. I'm sure that there are other places that you can order them from, and right now they have a 71% off sale, which puts them at $30.93 US. They're awesome cameras for that price. If I needed some more, I'd probably be buying more right now. You can see that they come in many different colors. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to say, I don't believe these are as good as a GoPro, but a GoPro is also $500. So $500 for $30. If you're looking for a camera that you don't mind destroying, this is probably the one you're looking for. But enough about the camera itself. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the features that are in this camera. It does shoot 1080p at 30 frames a second. It shoots 720p at either 30 frames a second or 60 frames a second. It takes up to 64 gig SD cards. Has a 2-inch LCD on the back. Now there are two models. If I grab the other one here, this one is actually the first SJ cam I ever purchased. You can see that they look very, very similar until you look at the back. And the screen on the new one, which is this one here, is much bigger than the screen on the old one. This can be very beneficial if you're trying to stare at the back of a camera while doing something. It can let you know if you're still in frame or not, versus this one, which is very hard to tell. Now, I do use both of these when I shoot for the bench. The rig has two of them in here. These do charge via USB, and they can run off of USB current, which is what I do for my rig. All of the cameras are plugged in, that way I don't have to worry about batteries. Some of these, I did notice when I ordered the two together, have a video out port on them as well. Now that's HDMI, so if you were to use it with a capture card, that would work as well. I just stick SD cards in here. I usually use a 32 gig. We'll take 64. I've never tried 128, so I'm not entirely sure. Let's take a look at the menu inside of this device. So if we turn it on by pressing and holding the front button, and we press the front button again, and it goes into picture mode. And we press the front button again, it goes to playback mode. And we press the front button again and we get into the menu. Okay, so in the menu we have settings for resolution. Again, 1080 at 30, 720 at 60, 720 at 60, and useless resolution at 30. I always leave it on 1080 by 30. Loop recording, this is good if you're going to use this as a dash cam. What it will do is it will record till the SD card is full and then delete the oldest footage and start recording after. Field of view. These cameras have wide, middle, and narrow field of view. We do have the wide dynamic range, which I have currently set off because I control the lighting in my lab, but if you're outside you may want it on. Motion detection I've never actually used. Audio I always leave on because it allows me to sync the video better, but obviously I'm using that thing's audio. Volume is the volume of the buttons when you press on the menu. Timestamp, it will put the date and time of the video into the bottom of the video. I obviously don't use this. Some people do. I personally don't like it. TV out is the HDMI, mini HDMI port I was telling you about. On-screen mode, OSD mode. We'll put the OSD over top of the video while you're shooting so you can see how much battery life you have left and such. Video lapse is a unique feature. Now, I've used this when I was 3D printing. Basically, it takes short videos at intervals, very much like a photo time lapse. And then you can stitch them together and have a decent B-roll type shot. Image size is only pertains to taking photos with it. I wouldn't recommend this camera for photos. Quality, again, is for photos. Sharpness, white balance are exactly what you think they are. The color, the ISO, exactly what you think it is. I don't know what EV is, to be absolutely honest with you. I've never played with the setting. Underwater, we've done this many times. We use these cameras for the fishing show. I will insert an underwater clip right here. So as you can see, the SJ4000 doesn't do too badly underwater. Fishing for the Rest of Us, link in the description below, our sister channel, uses these all the time for that. Photo lapse is exactly what you think it is. Take a photo every 3 seconds and store it to the SD card. Burst mode is just like any other camera. It will take 3 or 4 pictures at once. Dash cam does some inversion stuff. It's a specific setting if you're going to use this camera as a dash cam in your car, which it does work quite well for. Date time. Again, I recommend that you set the date time on these cameras because it uses them for the file name. And if you do multiple shoots in a row across multiple days, it gets very hard to figure out which one's which. Auto power off. I usually turn this off because after 5 seconds I don't want the cameras to necessarily turn off because I continue to shoot. So if I stop the camera and I go to do something, because I don't want you to watch me do it for the 40th time, I don't necessarily want these to turn off. Now, if you're running on battery, I understand why you would. However, I never run on battery. So, ketone is just a setting that doesn't make noise when you press the button. Screensavers, again, I don't use them. I leave them off. Frequency is an interesting one. You can set it to 50 or 60 hertz. Rotate, if you have the camera mounted upside down, you can rotate the image so you don't have to do it in like Premiere after. Logo watermark, always turn this off. I don't want the SJ Cam's logo on my video. Language is obviously the language of the interface. Delete, format, default setting, and version are obviously what you think they are. Alright, then we're back to resolution. So the big question here is, how does this camera stack up to other cameras? Well, you've all seen the bench footage that I do. You see the bench footage that I'm doing right now. Let's take a look at how this actually stacks up to an A5000 with the exact same lighting. So I set it to the middle field of view like I usually use them. And we're going back to the video window. And we'll tell it to record. I'm literally going to set this on top of my A5000. Now the A5000 is set to shoot in 1080p. The SJ Cam is set to shoot in 1080p. I'm going to slice the screen down the middle and we'll show you a comparison between the two videos. Now, in all fairness, this is not a valid comparison. The A5000 is a much more expensive camera than the SJ Cam, which is, as you can see on the computer screen, is currently on sale for $30 US. If we scroll down on the website, right, we will see that there is a ton of videos of people using this camera, video of beautiful things with these cameras attached to quadcopters. They work incredibly well for that because they're very, very light. We get down to the specifications. The display on the new model is the 2-inch display. The wide angle setting on the lens is 170 degrees. It does shoot in MOV format. There's no choice between that, and it is H.264 compressed. Right, the battery that comes with it is a 900 milliamp hour battery. Now the battery will probably last you 2 hours, sometimes 3, depending on what you're doing with the camera. We bought extra batteries for the fishing show, plus we stole the ones from the cameras that I use because I don't use batteries all that often. So you may want to pick up a couple extra batteries. They are pretty cheap as well. Now, it comes with a bunch of mounting accessories. A waterproof case, a charger, the helmet mount, the helmet belt, the handlebar side mount, and the battery. Now, as you can see by this array here, which I will show you in more detail right about now, we have the handlebar mount holding one of the camera mounts that we have for the SJ Cam. We have a standard quarter 20 mount holding another one of the cameras, and then we've got the helmet mount glued to the bench for the third angle that we use whenever we're shooting projects now. Now I know that the multiple angles is a new thing for my channel. I think it's added to the videos. Let me know in the description down below what you think, or the comments down below what you think. It has made editing a lot more challenging. So in short, when it comes to these tiny action cameras, looking at the 4K that we ripped apart versus this one, authentic matters. You want to make sure that you are buying an authentic SJ Cam. The SJ4000 is an older model from them. However, it's $30 right now. It's closer to $100 when it's not on sale, but it's $30 right now, and it is well worth that $30. I would heavily recommend it. The link to purchase it is in the description down below. I do not have Banggood affiliate program set up, so this is just a straight link. Buy it if you want. Don't if you don't. If you like this type of video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. Tell me why in the comments though, so I can continuously approve. Thank you for joining me in the lab today. We will speak again soon.